why is it that fasting is still so underrated and often overlooked by the traditional medical industrial complex?
Well, it's because fasting is not sexy. There's nothing fancy. There's no drugs. It's just fasting. So people think, oh, come on, that's nothing, just not eating. And how can I get better? Because they also don't understand that when you don't eat, you're bringing in a whole new biochemistry. They don't understand that. They don't know what fasting really does.
Talk about some of the benefits of fasting. If you would say the top 3 benefits in your experience in reviewing the science, what would those be when it comes to the power of fasting?
3, there's so many. But first of all, addiction. You get rid of addiction. Every day you're bombarded by advertisements. You're bombarded by people who tell you that, you got to eat 5 meals a day, that you get in the car, you got to have your drink and your food, and you got to eat on the motion. Every day, your instinct of saying that, I'm not hungry, but you still eat. And there's so much pressure for you to eat. Everything just points towards consumption. We need to break out of it, because otherwise we are going to suffer. See, we are addicted because we've been made addicted. We've moved to a calorie-rich, addictive diet. And that's why addiction is such a huge part of everything I talk about to my patients, and I got to get them out of the addiction so that they can make changes in their life. And this addiction is a serious addiction. It's as serious as being addicted to morphine or any other drug. And it's that serious. And people look at me, and my patients look at me and say, you mean to say I'm a junkie? I said, yes, you're a junkie now. You really are. And I see it every day. I see it every day in my clinic. When I speak to my patients in the clinic in the afternoons, it's addiction. One day, and they go, oh my God, I was breaking out in a sweat, and I felt my sugar was getting low, so I had to go and eat, and I felt better. And I said, and did you take your sugar level? And they said, yeah, and it was 100. Well, then it's not hypoglycemia, it's pure addiction. So that's what's happening. We've moved away from eating real food to addictive substances. These are not foods, by the way. These are substances. So should we be consuming substance, or should we be consuming real food? That's the issue. We're moving away from real food to substances, chemicals, addiction. And the combinations of these foods is also a problem. So you see, fasting is also about what type of food you eat. Look at the combinations. It's high sugar and high fat. And of course, there's lots of salt in it too. That combination is not found in nature. So when that gets into our body, it causes these hormonal changes. We want to eat every 2-3 hours. We change our circadian pattern of eating and our hormones in our body. So the addiction has to stop. And so that's one big thing. The second big advantage is what I call metabolic flexibility, that you're supposed to be using another part of your metabolism. So you're getting out of the glucose and out of the sugar, and now using another physiology, that there are other substrates that you can use for energy in your body. And that gives you a healthier and a better metabolic pathway. You can use one or the other. It's like having a car that can run on 2 different fuels. And that has a whole bunch of advantages. And the third thing is that once you start fasting and you start changing your hormonal status, now you get a whole bunch of health benefits: coronary artery disease, strokes, blood pressure, obesity-related diseases such as joint disease, degenerative changes, and even dementia. So you get all these advantages. So it's amazing what fasting can actually do for you.
Fasting, you don't lose weight, you lose impurities. And everybody that hear us talking now, tonight when they go to sleep, will go on a fast. Once you go to sleep, the body goes on a fast. When you wake up, eat your first meal, we call it breakfast. It's breaking the fast. So
but you can't tell people that they should just start fasting.
Well, you know what? When you tell people that, you say, why don't you go home and fast? And they'll go home and say, I heard Dick Gregory, I want to fast. They say, well, did you check with a doctor? You don't check with a doctor when you do coke. You don't check with a doctor when you do alcohol. And all the things that I ever did to corrupt my body, I never checked with nobody. Someone asked me the other day, some news station said, you've been fasting for 30-some years. What does your doctor think? My doctor's been dead 27 years.
Benefits of fasting. As we see while we sleep, we're fasting, the body's doing its repair work. So you see a newborn baby that just sleep 3-4 days like that. And it's like, the only time the body can do building work, construction, is while you're sleeping. Everything else have to cease. So this is one of the main benefits. And then also once you're grown, once you're built, you do want to fast once a week. You know, because you want to give the digestive system a rest so that the body can focus on eliminating. So fasting gets you to burn up toxins, it gets you to burn up waste, it gets you to burn up fat, it gets you to burn up unnecessary stuff that you have stored up in your system. So it's the best way to starve a disease. It's the best way to starve a cold. Fast. But drink liquids. Then we go on and we can fast on the moon cycles as well, new moon, full moon, and we go on and fast on the equinox, the solstice. So it's been 52 years now that I've been fasting once a week.
You've done tons of fasts. Do you feel it brings you closer to God?
I'm God, you God. See, I can't answer that. I said God means power. Power. Sure, you feel power.
So what are the benefits of a fast?
Huh?
What are the benefits of a fast?
You don't fast to make bad people good people. You fast to create a positive energy force where other forces can gather. The word fast means to abstain from. And then everything in the body changes. You know, the universe takes over. But also it heals, it cleanses. See, once you go on a fast, the body starts consuming itself. So if you took a comb and combed your hair, what are the hairs gonna come out the comb? The weak ones or the strong ones?
The weak ones.
Okay, so if you have cancer, when you go on the fast, it start eating up all. That's how you heal.
What got you into fasting?
A woman named Dr. Fulton, probably the #1 faster on the planet, a black woman in Chicago. Yeah, incredible.
But you fasted until peace was attained, or there were different missions. So was prayer part of the ritual of fasting for you, or?
I just said I wasn't going to eat no more solid food till the war in Vietnam. I didn't know it was going to take 2.5 years. I said, hurry up, get it over.
What was the first thing you ate?
Huh?
What was the first thing you ate?
I don't remember that.
No? Because it's part of the sacrifice?
No, I do so many fasts. I do so many fasts. As long as I've gone on water, it's 180 days. As long on fruit juice, it's 2.5 years. The longest I've gone on nothing is like 3 weeks. Yep. And then you start seeing things happen, you know.
Like what?
If I'm in this building here, and there's a circuit that's bad, it might not set the building on fire for 30 years, but to protect me, it blows it out immediately. Okay, just, everything go. That's fast. That's the universe.
Because you're in sync with a different level of energy.
Yeah.